what is the annual contribution I can make to my IRA account? And two questions, I guess, sorry. What is the annual contribution, and should I do, and what are the two IRA accounts I should invest in, and what is the one that you prefer?
So the annual contribution for this year, which we're sitting at the tail end of 2024, is $7,000 if you're under age 50, and you get $1 extra $1,000 if you're over age 50. I believe they are upping that by $500 or $1,000 for next tax filing year 2025. Don't quote me on that. I don't have it up in front of me and didn't look it up. But prior to COVID, they were basically upgrading it about $500 a year. When COVID happened, they kind of put a hiatus on that, but they just recently got back on track with increasing that annual contribution limit year to year. So in general, if you just are a W-2 employee and are starting to or looking to contribute more money into an IRA, that's going to be your contribution threshold. That's separate from 401k contributions. They have a little bit more niche of rules because you can have an employee contribute into the plan. You can have an employer do a deferral into the plan. And then there's some kind of extra, what's called like backdoor contribution rules. So 401ks or other employer-sponsored type plans have much higher annual contribution limits. Anyone could reach out to me directly. I've got a good list and catalog of breaking those down for you. And then you asked what my preferred plan type would be or is. Happy to give you an answer there, but prior to that, I do have to kind of give a brief disclaimer. I'm not a tax professional, legal professional, or financial advisor. So this is just my personal opinion. I'm not speaking on behalf of Advanta or on behalf of any capacity as, you know, an expert in this criteria. My personal retirement accounts, both my 401k and my IRA, are Roth. And the reason for that is because I'm relatively young, just about 33 right now, just turned 33 a couple months ago. And my theory behind it is that I want to pay the taxes on this money while it's as little as possible. And I anticipate growing that money and investing it until I'm 60, 70 years old. So why would I defer the taxes on that $6,000 or $7,000 I've been contributing each year for the past few years, and then have to pay taxes on all of that when I turn it into hundreds of thousands of dollars and start to need to utilize it in my 70s or 80s when I retire? So my personal theory, based on my age and based on my investment goals and strategies, is to pay taxes on the money when I put it into the retirement account, anticipating that I'm going to grow it over the next few decades. And I'd rather not pay taxes on what I grow it into.
I love it. And that's why I am converting my other account into a Roth account, which is a very small account, but I liked it. I like it. And thank you for the disclaimer. Everybody knows watching this, but I should have said it as well. This is for entertainment purposes only. Of course, do your own due diligence. Tria is only here to make you grow and educate you, but you got to do your own education. All right, super. What happens, by the way, because I'm getting a lot of emails from your colleagues that I have reached my limit. So what if I was to make another contribution to my IRA account? What are the taxes? What are the implications then?
Yeah, the over contribution, I mean, really you should be keeping track of that if you're making contributions into your account. There is an over contribution penalty. I believe there used to be ways where you could remove an excess contribution, but there's an over contribution penalty. I believe sometimes it gets counted towards the future year's contribution if you do not remove it, but I believe the penalty is like 10% on whatever you've contributed over your annual limit. And then if I'm not mistaken, that also gets counted, whatever that amount is, towards the future year's contribution. But I could be slightly wrong on that. I haven't dusted up on that in a little bit of time. That's kind of just off the back of my mind.